Chapter 3: The Academy of Immaculate Heart. The attractive building you see today on the corner of Broad and Palm, the sign says Mission College Preparatory, began as a convent school for girls called the Academy of Immaculate Heart. This was a 3-story frame structure offering primary and secondary education, and it was staffed entirely by nuns. Though his daughters were long grown by the time it opened, the school was the brainchild of Don Dolores Herrera, the father of 6 daughters, who wanted them all to attend a Catholic school. At the time, country schools were considered rowdy and uncouth, unfitting places for young women. In 1857, Herrera donated the land on which the school was eventually built, but the funds for construction were not raised until 1875. A fine photograph from about 1880 can be viewed on your screen. Another shows the mission grounds in a cross shape with the school visible on the upper left. The academy opened with 50 students, most of them boarders, in August of 1876. Boarders paid $200 a year in tuition, and non-boarders paid $2 or $3 per month depending on their age. A boys' school was added later in a separate building. The school featured its own chapel and extensive orchards and gardens. In 1924, a newly installed pastor of the old mission church was instructed to build a new parochial school. Famous local families such as Hearst, Madonna, and Fiscalini donated funds to help with the construction. Orchards and arbors that had been flourishing since the Academy of Immaculate Heart first opened were cleared, and parts of the old school were torn down. The new school opened in 1926, and by 1930, what little remained of the original school was destroyed in a fire. But recent discoveries shed new light on the life and times of the builders, the workers, and the students and families who lived here during Immaculate Heart's better days. During the late 1800s, the unhappy truth is that outhouses were receptacles for much more than mere human waste. It was also a convenient, and obviously safe, place to dispose of incriminating items. In 2006, an archaeological study was conducted in preparation for a new gymnasium and parking structure for Mission High School. During the dig, some fascinating discoveries were made. In an old outhouse deposit 2.5 feet down, excavators uncovered predictable items such as ink bottles, slate boards, and eating utensils. They found medicine bottles, toys, and marbles as well. But they also found some pretty unpredictable things, like nuns' habits and rosary beads, alongside whiskey flasks, beer bottles, shot glasses, smoking pipes, and firearm materials. We can only speculate as to the reasons these things found their way into an outhouse hole. Many likely have perfectly harmless explanations. A child drops his belongings by accident. A cook or cobbler has a well-deserved drink after a long day's work and drops the evidence into the hole. But why would a nun toss her habit and her rosary? What were people smoking back then? Who found it necessary to bury his guns? The stories an outhouse could tell. If you'll turn to the right, we'll walk back up Palm Street to Choro again, cross at the light to Red Hot Pottery, then left down Choro about a half a block. We'll stop in front of 868 Choro Street. The house has no visible number, but is recognized for being set back off the street and for its 2 front doors with 2 big trees flanking the front steps.